told him that I used to swim in Taiwan. I said I swam with a Chinese family, and he's the one who came back and said, I know who that family is. And I just thought that was funny and weird because, I didn't know whatever happened with that. The one day you sent me the picture of the coach, I was like looking at my phone. People were like, what are you doing? I said, oh my God. It's just so weird because it was my Australian coach from 1968 that he found. And I was just so shocked to see that one day. Like one morning I wake up and there's that picture, and it just brought back all kinds of memories from, so many years ago.
I swam in the military pool, the officers club pool, and then that pool up in Grass Mountain. I'd swim sometimes with Debbie, like at the rec center, that kind of a thing, We all swam in there, In other instances, I couldn't swim with her when she was swimming on a team with a coach. Then the coach would ban the parents from almost looking at them, keep the parents away so the coach could get on them. Parents couldn't interfere. Yeah, no, I've been through that with Debbie too.
The coach for that?
Oh yeah, Tenny Poltuck. I guess he was a coach in Taipei. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he must have been. Yeah. I don't even remember Debbie and the girls,
Yeah, the Shen girls.
The Chinese girls, the Shen girls,
She was the youngest. She was still older than me. I think maybe she's 2 years older.
Oh, I don't know.
I think so. I think she's a little bit older than me. I swam with all of them. Yep. So that's pretty much, that's the story up to now.
I look at these medals as mementos of places I've been and social interactions I've had with many, many people who have a common interest in swimming. So we race. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but all in all, these basically remind me of fun times that I've had throughout my whole life. And as I mentioned to you before, I've been to many states in the United States. Kentucky, West Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Swimming has enabled me to travel throughout the country. Some people buy souvenirs from various areas. I try to win medals, hang them, and remind me of the fun I've had. This medal represents open water swimming. I swam in a lake in Charlottesville in Virginia, and I was part of a three-man team that won the national championship at that time, and each one of us received a medal. Another one that I'm very much proud of, I wasn't a winner, I was fourth place, but it was the world. FINA, the world governing body of aquatics, analyzes all our times each year, and they come out with a top 10 group of swimmers in each event. This was the 400 meter. I was fourth in the 400 meter freestyle, the world top 10, and I was kind of proud of that. So these I'm especially proud of, but overall, I feel happy that I was able to participate, swim well, and enjoy friendship with many other people.
In 1967, I want to say in October, and at first we did stay at the Grand Hotel, and then we went to kind of it was called the Liberty House. It was just a place that we kind of stayed until we could find a house. A lot of people lived in Grass Mountain, Yamingshan, at Grass Mountain, but we did not. We moved to Tianmu, and I think we decided it was Happy Village. I know it was Lanyali. Every house was, we had the red gate, the yard, tall fences. Some of them even had glass, I guess for protection, broken glass on the top. Our house was behind the gates. Every house was behind the gates. And carport. They were nice homes. They were very nice. I'm not really sure about what my dad exactly did. He was in supply. I know he did a lot of shipping. He was at ports. He was in Kaohsiung a lot. I know he's working with the Chinese government on shipping. So he worked there for 2 years and then he went to Vietnam.
I was there when Grass Mountain had snow on it. It was like we saw the whiteness up there. It's like I never saw snow before because I lived in California. We never saw snow, and we saw a patch white up at Grass Mountain.
Wow.
And it snowed up there, and it was like the biggest traffic jam ever. Everyone went.
Okay,
It
yes.
was crazy, man. The weather was extreme. I mean, we have hurricanes. We have hurricanes all the time. We just missed one here. But
Yeah.
I saw the typhoons have been hitting Taiwan. And in Taiwan, Taipei, man, I remember you guys get huge typhoons, super typhoons.
Yes.
And the winds
Very
are 160, 170. Our Cat 5 is 150 max, maybe, or a little bit higher. But you guys, super typhoons. Man, I remember whatever typhoon hit us back in the day, fled to Taiwan. Our schools got wet. The school got wet. We were driving boats.
I mean, Taiwan seemed very tropical, and it's very tropical, So we had forts down on the river because we were kids. We watched them build. The manner of building houses and stuff was just so different from anything, with all the scaffolding and all the bamboo. The food, the food was crazy. We would go to Mongolian BBQ, so there was a little Mongolian BBQ place around the corner. We loved it, but we always kind of got sick afterwards. Yeah, and the chickens, there would be chicken feet in the stew, and maybe the head. Yeah, it was just different. We did a lot of stuff at the community centers. So we went to the Officers Club a lot. They had a very nice pool. The Officers Club was very nice.
Yeah.
That was in Taipei. And then we went to Tianmu a lot too, because we had the movie theater there. And that was pretty close. So we had a movie theater, we had the pool, we had baseball fields and little classrooms. I think they had Girl Scouts over there. I think so.
Sure.
My parents would go there. Like if we were going to go out for dinner, we would go to the club.
Yeah.
We went to the club, like more so every once in a while we would go to have Mongolian barbecue, like right there on the street. But mostly we ate at the clubs.
Right.
It was a house that was built of, looks like granite, of stone. It was a gray house, and it had a big fence in the front. And we had a gate, metal gate, and I remember because it was painted red. Chinese, of course, red. Next door was also military. I think many. I don't know how many houses were on that street, but mostly military, or maybe civilian contractors. But as I recall, mostly military, No, when we come off, I don't know the main road, going through Lanyali, we'd come off to the left and pass rice paddy fields, I think, and then into the villages there. And it seemed to me that there were 2 or 3 streets, I guess. And I have a feeling that all these houses were contracted for military in that area. That was kind of a military housing area. Yeah.
I remember when I came back to the United States and I played baseball, I had such a good arm. And it's like, how do you have such a good arm? How come you throw so well? It's because I've been throwing dirt clouds at people from Taiwan for the last 4 years. That's why, because we always had fights and rock fights and stuff like that. But it was pretty crazy. It was a good time then.
My mom was a model in Taiwan. Look how skinny, and he knows. You see my mom, she's not doing very good. But she would wear this to parties all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just gorgeous. So she's like, she just gave it to me. But we're all too fat. But I can't get rid of it. I think it's just so beautiful.
I had been studying in the seminary for 4 years, from high school to that time. And before taking the final step as a priest and stepping into that area, I wanted to get around a little bit more. I wanted to see the world a little bit more before I took my final step, figuring that I could gain more experience if I returned as a priest. So I left the seminary in 1954, say, and I applied to join the Navy, They accepted me into the officer candidate school. And then from there, as I say, I entered the Navy basically in about May of 1955. And then they sent me down to Jacksonville, Florida. Then after Jacksonville, they moved me to Washington, D.C. Of course, that's when I met Dottie. She was working for the FBI in Washington at the time. So I dated her, and then they sent me to Norfolk, Virginia to board the USS Randolph, an aircraft carrier, getting ready to deploy to the Mediterranean. We were married in North Chelmsford. That's a little town outside of Lowell, Massachusetts. I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts, and my family, they took charge of the wedding. So I brought Dottie up there with her mom. She did not have a father. Her father was killed in World War II, and we were married in June, I think, of '57. Then I went back to Norfolk, and I deployed for the second time on the carrier, and of course I was married at that time. After I left the carrier, I decided to become what you might call a regular in the Navy. So they sent me to a school in Glencoe, Georgia, the Basic Combat Information Center School, for a period of 6 months. So when I got down there, I arranged to have her resign from the FBI and come down there and join me in Georgia. So that's when we first lived together, yeah. In 1966 is when I received my orders to go to Taiwan. I stayed in Taiwan for 2 years. My family stayed there the third year when I went to Vietnam. Luckily, I received permission from the Taiwanese military to let her stay in Taiwan while I was in Vietnam.
Beach.
Oh, the beach.
Did you drive there?
I was there a couple of times, but this is big with Dottie. Dottie was a Girl Scout leader, and she would take her group, to Macaulay, Camp Macaulay, yeah. At one time, she had to take her son, Mike, with her because she had no babysitter. I don't understand why. I don't know where the armor was. I guess she was spending a week at Macaulay with the girls. She had very pleasant memories of Camp Macaulay. That was a nice beach. I have a few pictures of that too.
I didn't travel more, but I was a little kid. My mom, Okinawa, Kinmen, that was crazy. Everything underground.
Yeah.
And then she went to Vietnam. They went to Thailand. They went everywhere over there. So they had a good time. Except that he was in the war.